AFS recording number 2330, side B.
2 months old. You want the whole thing? Well, when you want the whole thing over?
No, my father missed me.
Oh, my father went to the war when I was 2 months old, and he told my mother to sell out all his fishing rigs and go to South Bend, Indiana, where my grandfather lived on my father's side, see? And stay there if he come back. Why, then they'd move back to their old fishing ground again. But he was killed in '64 in the siege of Atlantis. He never come back. And my mother left South Bend when I was 8 years old. And we come back to our old place where my father left, see, where we left. In Stag Bay, Michigan. My mother got married then, you see, after she come back, a year or two after that. Oh, I'll say around a year and a half, something like that. She got married and to another fisherman. And I was 8 years old, the time she got married. Well, I was past 8 years old. But anyway, we moved then to St. Martin's Island on Green Bay, and we fished there. A few years, 3, 4 years on that island. Then we moved over to Maine shores, and then from that I fished with him. I went in with him in the sailboat when I was 10 years old to steer the boat, while him and his hired man would do the work in the boat, you see. And he learned me how to steer the boat. Well, then I stayed with him till I was 15 years old. I thought now, if I've got to serve my life around this shore here with these little sailboats, I'm going to ship onto some bigger vessel where I'll learn something. So I left him and I went on to a bigger vessel. And from that time till I was 33 years old, I followed the lake. Got me?
Do you remember the names of the boats you sailed on?
Yes, sir. His name was Bob Graham, and I sailed on the Lucy Graham. She was named after his daughter.
Do you remember the names of the other boats you sailed on?
Oh, after that? Yes. After I left him, I went sailing on another fish trader. These boats were fish traders. These vessels. His name was Sanders, Nate Sanders. And the name of the boat was a Mary Gregory. The name of the schooner was a Mary Gregory.
What were the names of some other boats that you sailed on?
After that?
Uh-huh.
Well, and then I went into the schooner merchant with Billy Umstead, Captain Billy Umstead. He was another fish. He was another. He sailed these fish traders, see, buying fish along the North Shore and all around the island, Green Bay Island, Green Bay shores, And then after I left him, I went into bigger vessels, and they was grainers, and they was iron ore vessels, see, and grainers. So I sailed in a grainer from Chicago to Buffalo 3 straight seasons in one vessel. Now, her name was the Guido Sister.
Was she a good boat?
A big 3-mast schooner. She carried 67,000 bushels of corn, or grain. See?
What was the best boat you ever sailed on? The fastest boat?
Oh, the fastest boat. I guess it's my own. That's it right there. I left Chicago. I bought that boat in Chicago in 1890. I left there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I hired a man there after I bought this boat, I hired a man to help me fit her out. And I was going to Charlevoix. Michigan. I said, there's a resort country. I'm going up there, and I'll bet you I'll make some money. So we went up there, and I left Chicago at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Tug told me out of Chicago Creek. And 41 hours from the time I left there, I was in Charleroi. 380 miles.
I was going, wasn't it?
Well, I should say. The southeast gale of wind drafted to me. That little girl, 43-foot boat.
And what was that trip that you made down from, that fast trip that you made down to Chicago?
From here,
Yeah.
36 hours.
From where?
From St. Martin's Bay right down here is what they call Felton's Cut. We loaded cedar posts and telegraph poles. We left there with a northeast wind, right wind, and we got outside the St. Helene Island. We got its pressure and kept getting its pressure right along. And when we passed the South Manitou Island, we took in our topsails and we punched her right through to Chicago with all of our lower canvas except the flying jib. I mean our jig topsail. We took in our jib topsail and that's all we took in. And we clouded that vessel right through. 36 hours.